Okay, we are live with Ebonix herself, right in the flesh, all the way from London. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Terence. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. We have a bunch of questions that have come from out of the session that we just had with you. So I'm going to get right into it. There's been a couple of questions around figuring out why there is this lack of diversity and representation. You did address it a bit in the session, but and one of the reasons why you kind of you think that there is this problem is due to a lack in the actual studios themselves. There's a lack of representation and diversity in the studios, the people making the games. But are there potentially other reasons as well? Zane asked, in your discussions with some of the game developers, what are you finding are their reasons for the lack of representation? Is it fear, oversight, or something worse? Is it just a misunderstanding who they believe will play their game?
So, again, yeah, to touch back upon the idea that we draw inspiration from our own experience. If we aren't, if we don't have people, or if we don't have devs working in the studios who are helping make games with a particular background, in a way that the people who are making the game are kind of guessing and they aren't really guessing it quite right. So if they do have more people working in the kind of in the from the ground zero, helping build up the game with the particular experience that they're working towards for the game, then that would be the kind of best way to get it right. I mean, in a way, yeah, there is some, I guess, an element of fear because gosh, if we don't even know what we're talking about, how can we get this right? Let's just not include it at all. And then, then you start thinking, well, then that should be the first thought. Okay, but why don't we have anyone on the team who's actually able to give us this input and feedback? So I definitely think it starts from the ground zero. It starts from within the studio and making sure they've got the right people in there to give them the right kind of input. Um, and I think there is a misrepresentation about who plays games. Like, I don't know. I don't know if they're looking at their kind of target base or because I guess when you think gamer, you think cis white male. And I hate for that to be the target audience for every game. But we see it changing, and we see games kind of like Miles Morales, and I'm still mind blown by Miles Morales just being able to play as a black superhero who's not just black but black Latinx as well. He's a mixture of both,
And he's
and
the lead. He's the
he's
lead
the
character.
exactly. He's the lead character, not the side story, not nothing. He's not an expansion pack. He's the main character in this main game, and you're seeing games like that making such a leap towards what our games are going to be looking like in the future.
So I'd like to find out a little bit more about your own journey. You did kind of take us through it a bit in your session, but when you became the first Black female Twitch partner, um, and in a lot of the other spaces where you're trailblazing, you're doing a lot of the firsts for that we've seen in the world. Is that a lonely experience, or do you find that there is a community of people who have come alongside you to push you forward?
Um, I wouldn't say it's lonely because of the amount of support that I have from my community in general, and I have a lot of friends in the United States as well who have been coming along this journey with me. So I mean, in a way, it feels like great, great. I'm the first Black female Twitch partner, but I'm now looking at who else I can help to bring up to this point, and I do want. It's another reason why I kind of helped co-found Black Twitch UK
Hmm.
because within the UK, you don't often see Black women trailblazing in this in this industry. So I mean, I work alongside my friends Jayan Lopez with Black Girl Gamers and my friend Steph, who founded Nace Saga, and my friend Timmy, who co-founded the Nerd Council. So these are all people within the UK who are also trailblazing in this industry and doing a lot of firsts alongside with me. So whilst I am the first Black female Twitch partner, we've got about another four. So there's now four of us within just this year alone. So it's not quite lonely because the support is there, and I've also got friends who are literally alongside me, trailblazing and making so much difference within this industry as well. So it's such a beautiful thing.
There was a comment from Eric, more than a question. This is an important piece of the puzzle that has been missing. There are so many talented Black creators in the streaming space who deserve a chance to shine under that spotlight. I think he was talking specifically about, the Twitch homepage, the front and center. Are there enough Black creators being seen and being pushed forward in those spaces? So, Eric, 100% agreeing with you. Something that I know often happens with people like yourself who are advocates for this kind of change, who are pushing hard for this kind of change. There's often a lot of pushback, sometimes in a very polite way, sometimes in a not very polite way. Have you experienced any of that in your journey?
Do you know what? I've had this question before, and in a way I can kind of laugh about it because I feel like because what I'm doing is quite niche and quite unique, I think if anyone did have a problem with it, they wouldn't even know what to say. They're a bit confuzzled and a bit confused about what to even say about it. So she's doing what? She's saying, huh? What? And before they know it, I'm already kind of flying past them, and then they finally get it once I've made my point. So actually, me personally, I haven't had any pushback. And that is, I think, a very unique experience for how Black women are treated in the gaming industry in general. I mean, within the UK, and there's just been a lot of a kind of strife recently because a few Black women receive free consoles, so free Xboxes and free PS5s. And they got a lot of pushback about it because people were saying that they made it a race thing. Oh, because we're Black, you should give us consoles. And it just didn't seem. And to be fair, that kind of shone a light on how, in general, Black women are treated in this industry. And so I don't want my personal experience to negate the fact that, oh no, Black women are getting treated fine. My own personal experience, I haven't had any pushback because either I've ignored it and I haven't paid them dust. And my main focus has just been, I want to make sure that we are being seen within this game. But once I've also started kind of branching out, some people have said things like, oh, why do you have to make it about race? Well, actually, it has to be about race because that kind of thing is quite important when it comes to seeing faces that look like you in these spaces. And there definitely aren't enough.
When you're only seeing one race in a game, then it's about race. I'm not the one making it about race. Other people have made it about race, and I'm trying to make it work in the space.
Exactly.
Teresa asks, my students shy away from creating characters that do not look like themselves. They feel it would be disrespectful. I have a diversity of students. Among the white students, they tend to avoid race and create anthropomorphic characters. Do you have any guidance for them?
I think I can understand why they would kind of worry about getting it wrong and feeling about making sure it's not disrespectful towards the ethnic group that they're working on or the character that they're working on. I would just say study, like really kind of study the features or characters that you're working on and don't feel shy or worried to ask for advice and, ask people, am I getting it right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that in this industry, and there's nothing wrong with a little bit of self-reflection. Because again, like I touched on it in the talk, where games are looking back and thinking, okay, we actually didn't get this right. We missed the mark on this. What can we do to actually rectify what we've missed to ensure that people are feeling seen and represented and included in our games? So I think with your students, it's really important for them to really study, see if there's any tutorials, watch loads of videos on how others who are doing it are getting it right. And then if they are getting a bit stuck, to just ask someone else and say, can you help me with this? How do I get it to look like this? And I think it shows a level of compassion and understanding that they actually do want to get it right, and they shouldn't let their fear hold them back from potentially being able to make such a major difference within the industry.
And I suppose if you are lucky enough to be in a diverse set of, like, if you have diversity in your student group, that's super lucky. You get to know
Exactly.
people from different spaces, talk to them about where they
Exactly.
come from and their experiences.
That
Uh,
part. Absolutely.
Man, Ebonix, Danielle, it's been fantastic hearing you and listening to your experiences and the feedback that you can give us about how we can push forward and make a difference in the industry. This has been a great way to end off
Absolutely.
our
Thank you so
entire
much.
Africa Games Week. Thank you for your time, and I'm gonna just say this: if people want to get hold of you, they need to do it on all the platforms, any of the platforms that
All
you've
the
made available. You can see it,
Ebonic Sims,
Ebonic
literally
Sims.
everywhere.
It's
Literally
right there.
everywhere.
Connect up with the chat to Ebonix, find out more about how you can make a difference. And if you are someone who's doing this work already, I think the work gets done better when we're doing it together. Um,
Absolutely.
that should be
100%.
I should make a t-shirt. That sounds like a great slogan.
That's a great slogan. Someone clip that.
Ebonix, thank you so much. We really
Thank you,
appreciate your time.
Terrence. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Right. So that officially is the end of our time together. This is the end of Africa Games Week. We've had a fantastic 2 days of talks and sessions and interactions with people from around the world. I hope you use the opportunity to get to know other people, to get to know other people in the industry, especially on the continent. This community has been amazing. I've seen the comments that have been coming through, the support that we have been receiving from all across Africa. And I hope this can continue. Hopefully next year, COVID-19 dependent, we can meet in person in Cape Town. If not, if you're not able to make it or we're not allowed to meet in person, we will definitely be doing this again because this has been, in my opinion, massively successful. I hope you have a relaxing break. If you are taking a break, I hope you have a joyful and friend and family filled New Year's and festive season. We will be chatting to you soon. I hope, again, that you will have made connections that you will talk to throughout 2021. Stay safe, stay strong, and keep playing African-made games. Thank you.
And I'm just going to jump in there before we commit the stream. I do think it's been a massive success, and it's mainly due to two people who I'm just going to quickly bring into the stream. Penny and Rex have done an absolutely superb job of organizing the event and getting people on board, getting our speakers sorted out. They've done a phenomenal job. So thank you, guys. It's been great. And with that, we're going to go because no one wants to see backstage. It's not nice. Bye-bye. And thank you, everybody, for coming.